All right, how can you build up your mental toughness? It's a desirable trait for everyone on the planet. So, how can you become more mentally tough? I've got 3 ways for you today. This is the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. I'm Jerred Moon, and I wanted to do a short podcast on increasing mental toughness. It's something I've talked about for a long time. A lot of people don't even know this. The second product I ever launched online was called the Mental Toughness Militia. And the main reason I launched that product was because my first product was one man, one barbell strength program. And what I was learning was people were like, this program is great, seeing a lot of results. But I was running into a lot of people who just couldn't stick with the program. As you find out when you start coaching anyone in person or online, is the getting them to stick to it is the most important part. And so what I launched as a second part of the program was the Mental Toughness Militia, really just trying to get people to stick to the program, to help them see the results they say they want to see. Anything I could do to help people stick with it is something I've researched a lot. And I've done a lot of research on mental toughness and building grit. I've put a lot into practice in my own life. And I even wrote a book called Killing Comfort where I talk about this in depth. And I have some very basic ways that you can work on your mental toughness. And so let's go over them. The first way is what I call the no motivators workout. Pretty simple. Start a workout. Typically, you're going to want this workout to be something that involves some form of moderate to high intensity. So whether that's track, run, intervals, some sort of mixed modal or CrossFit type workout, whatever it is for you, high intensity interval training, high intensity, higher intensity, something where at some point you're going to want to back down or quit. That's what we need. We need to get to that mental toughness, that chatter that makes you want to quit or slow down. So that's the workout. Now, the no motivators portion of this is you have to be alone and you can't listen to anything. No headphones, no music blaring over a speaker, nobody with you. And now go through the motions. Go through the motions. Do the workout. And just listen to yourself. Listen to what your mind is saying. Because you talk to yourself all the time. You're talking to yourself right now. You talk to yourself all the time. So do the no motivators workout and have a journal with you at the end and write down where you started to kind of break down, where the weaker version of you started to come out. So say it's a 15-minute high-intensity interval training workout. Was it at minute 5, 6, first interval, third interval, fourth interval? What was the chatter? What was being said? Because at the end of the day, mental toughness is not about becoming some person who doesn't feel pain and some person who can push through anything. Mental toughness is really about being able to push back when this weaker version of you starts to talk and say, no, we're going to keep the intensity up. No, we're going to push a little bit harder. No, we're going to keep going, and making a deal with your brain if you have to keep moving forward. But the only way to do that is if we strip away everything. We can't have artificial motivation blaring in our eardrums. We have to really take this on just with ourselves. You don't need anybody else to do this. Very simple. Go execute the no motivators workout. And then after you journal and reflect on how that workout went, do it again in like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and see if you can then start to change the conversation in your brain, in your mind, to where you push a little bit harder. You don't have as much of a, bump in the road at minute 7 or the second interval or whatever it is. Try to get a little bit better. The second thing is the 1 minute threshold. Now, this 1 minute threshold is going to be different for every single person. It's going to be dependent on your fitness level, but I want you to do a long run. Long run. I typically recommend 60 minutes for those who are pretty well trained. Now, if you're a runner, this might be different. But if you're not really a runner, 60 minutes is a crappy length of time to run. Most people who aren't really runners don't want to run for 1 full hour. Okay? So I want you to run for 1 full hour. Now, like I said, this is up to your fitness level. You have to determine if that's even a possibility for you, because the asterisk here is that you'd have to run the entire time. No walking. No walking. You can run as slow as you want, but no walking. And if you're like, hey, there's no way in hell I could ever run 60 minutes straight, then you're not at the 60-minute mark. You're a 45-minute person. You're a 30-minute person. And so that's the most important part. Be honest with yourself, but you have to run the entire time. Okay, at the end of this, let's say you are doing the 60-minute version. You're like, you know what? I think I could do that. I could jog really slow at times. I could speed up, whatever. As soon as 60 minutes hits, I want you to do 1 minute all-out sprint. 60 seconds all-out sprint. That's it. Now, what are we doing here? Again, you'll see, in my view, mental toughness is all about stripping everything away and finding that internal chatter, that voice inside of you that wants to quit or slow down. We do a series of workouts every Saturday at Garage Gym Athlete called Meet Yourself Saturday. The whole point is to break away, strip away everything else so you can meet yourself, who you truly are, and change the conversation in your mind. Now, during this 1 minute threshold, it's going to be tough because you've already run for 60 minutes. You've stripped everything away. You have no motivation left. You are tired. You may even be exhausted. You don't want to keep going. The last thing you want to do after 60 minutes is to sprint for a full 60 seconds. But when you do, I guarantee you will get some sort of chatter coming through the mind. And here's the deal. It's different than the last one. The last one was like kind of note, be aware, journal, change it the next time. This time, it's change it now. It's change it in the minute, okay? It's change it in that 60-second time period because you don't want to have to do this workout again or frequently. So what we've done is we spend 60 seconds to strip everything away and to kind of tear you down only to be at your bare mental performance level, and then you're going to change the conversation right then and there. So when you start running and your legs are tired and you don't want to do it and everything is saying quit, stop, slow down, that's when you say, no, we're going faster, we're going harder, we're going to finish. And you'll realize that, hey, I'm a lot more mentally tough than I thought. But you have to go through the entire 60 minutes to figure out who you're really going to be in that last minute. It's the 1 minute meet yourself moment. And it can do wonders for your mental toughness. Now, the last thing is more of a play on consistency, because in my opinion, that is truly the most difficult part of mental toughness. So in a training session is one thing. Being able to change the conversation in your mind, that's very important. But consistency is the most important. So I always challenge people to stick to something. I don't care what it is. I don't care how small it is. Stick to something. Whether that's taking a multivitamin every day, drinking a certain amount of water every day, sticking to a specific diet, doing a certain number of workouts per, every day or every week or whatever, being consistent. And then pick a time frame, 10 days, 50 days, 100 days. I always recommend 100 days, but I know 100 days is hard. But if you can do something every day for 100 days, even if it's as small as taking a multivitamin every day for 100 days, you're going to realize that you can be consistent. And that's going to give you more motivation to do more the next time, to make the goal a little bit bigger. And you will start building yourself into a more mentally tough and better human being. So those are the 3 ways: the No Motivators workout, the 1 minute meet yourself threshold test, and lastly, just stick to something. 5 days, 50 days, 100 days, doesn't matter. Stick to something. Well, that's it for this one. For all of our Garage Gym athletes out there, thank you so much for being a part of the community. Really enjoy having you. Awesome to have every single one of you being consistent in the program and utilizing a lot of these mental strategies on a day-to-day basis. If you want to be a part of the community, you can go to garagegymathlete.com, sign up for a free trial, and we would love to have you. Remember, if you don't kill comfort, comfort will kill you.